So guys, episode 3, Team Protege here today. We're going to be looking at Lukas Ungar from Del Barton High School. He's actually going to Stanford. He is there right now. He is going through their summer conditioning program. And I am excited. I'm excited about his potential. I'm telling you, this kid has got a lot of potential. The Cardinal got a great one, my alma mater, carrying on the wonderful tight end legacy that we have. So really eager to break down his film with you guys and really looking forward to his future. So there's a couple things that immediately stick out when watching Lukas's film. And they're traits that you would not expect in a young tight end. But it really shows how detailed he is when it comes to running routes. He runs routes with great ease and fluidity, something that is eye-opening at a young age. He also is always on the attack against the defense. We're gonna watch a clip here where he jabs at the D end. He makes contact with the linebacker at 5 yards, but he's running a corner route, so he has to get 10 yards. He cannot allow the defense to dictate his depth. And so he's gonna lean into the linebacker, separate at the top of his route. He's not gonna push off, he's gonna lean and separate. He's not gonna get his hand extended and have the ability to draw offensive pass interference. And so let's watch this film. I want you guys to watch it from the beginning. I'm just gonna let it play. And Lukas just does a great job of playing aggressively, not letting the defense dictate what we're doing as tight ends. We're attacking the defensive end, a jab step, kind of freezing him, making sure it doesn't impact our release, making contact at 5 yards with this linebacker, carrying our speed for another 5 yards, lean in and going to make a play on the ball. And like I said, this is a play that just instantly spoke to me of the type of player Lukas can be. So I want to coach off this play as well as kind of highlight what Lukas is doing. You know, it's kind of the same concept, not letting the defender dictate our route. And Lukas does a great job running his route against the linebacker, getting vertical for 10, separating, coming at a negative angle. But the thing that we can improve on is not just running full speed down the middle of the linebacker or DB. You know, when you're running your routes, you want to pick an edge always. You want to play on an edge, which means you either want to be leaning on a defender's inside half or his outside half. You never want to be face to face with a defender when running a route. So Lukas does a great job. He's in the slot right here, leaning and separating at the top. Playing fast, but where we can be better is just picking kind of the defender's outside shoulder and leaning and separating, and so the defender doesn't have as much of a chance to grab us. At the top of the route, it's perfect. You know, he's coming at a negative angle. He's leaning. It's a hands catch. So everything about it is great. Where we can improve on is just not running down the center of the defender and always playing on an edge. So here's a clip that I want to highlight talking about leaning and separating, playing on an edge, not playing down the center of a guy. I'm going to be at the bottom of the screen, all the way at the bottom. We're going to motion a running back outside of me. So I'm going to end up being number 2, but I'm working against the DB here. I'm going to be working the back end line. And you can see from the beginning that I threaten the guy's outside shoulder, knowing that he's got to react to that, and then lean right there and separate. And so I don't let the defender right here dictate how my route is going to look, how it's going to be run. We're always playing on the attack, so I'm going to stem outside for a couple steps, make him move his feet, get on his inside shoulder, and stick and separate. Not pushing off, leaning and separate. If you get that hand extended, it's going to be a flag every time. So I just want to highlight what you can do, how much separation you can make if you really are able to lean and separate and playing on an edge and using our big frames to our advantage, because that's something that we have to do. You know, we're going to outweigh the DBs by a lot frequently. So you got to use some of our advantages to be an advantage. You know, they're going to be quicker than us for the most part. They're going to be faster than us for the most part. But we got to use our ability to play big, especially down here in the red zone, to our advantage. And so I just want to highlight the sticking and separating, coming back friendly for the quarterback, and making a big play for your team. So one of the things I want to talk about next is talking about the run game. We're talking about outside zone. And when we talk about outside zone, the running back is trying to get outside of our block. And so our goal here is to take our left shoulder and put it on the defensive end's outside shoulder. And then once we feel the tackle, the offensive tackle, join us in that block, then it's our job to get up on the next guy. And so Lukas does a great job securing the first level, the defensive end. But on both of these blocks, where we can improve on is not getting our outside arm involved in the block. If you get your outside arm on the block, it's gonna make it really, really difficult to get up onto the second defender that we're responsible for. And so we have 2 clips back to back here. Lukas does a great job setting the edge, but the next step to becoming even better is not getting our outside hand involved so we can get up on the second level quickly, and really just making the run play even better. So you see it on both clips here. This one is really more pronounced. Lukas kind of puts his outside arm on the block and it slows him down. And so if we can just keep our shoulders square, not get our outside hand involved in the block, get up on the second level, it's going to lead to some big plays in the run game. So we're going to be at the bottom of the screen here with Lukas, and the thought process at the top is really, really good. Lukas is going to be running kind of a 10-yard out route. The cornerback is going to be on his outside, so the cornerback is going to be preventing where he wants to go based solely off where he is before the snap starts. And so Lukas really has got to decide, how am I going to get where the defender is trying not to get me? And so Lukas does a great job with his hands. I'm going to let it play here. Selling it for 10 yards, kind of hesitating, trying to find the DB and throwing him by, using his hands at the top, and making a play on the football. And so how can we be better on this play? And so when you're running an out-breaking route and the guy is outside of you, you cannot get off his frame. What do I mean by that? You always want to be within an arm's reach of the defender so that you can use his momentum against him. And so you can't get so far away that we're trying to find the DB and then use our hands in the route. You want to be able to use your hands at the very top and have confidence that you're not going to miss on your routes and you're not going to wait on your route to use your hands, because the idea of using your hands here is the correct thought. Throw by at the top, swat and swim at the top. But Lukas is waiting at the top of the route to try and find the guy because he's ahead of him off the ball. And so you kind of have to, whether it be slow down, whether it be make contact earlier in the route, you got to make sure that you keep the defender on your body so that the top is as efficient as possible. So I want to give you an example of what I mean when I say don't let the defender get so far away from you that you can't use your hands or you're waiting to use your hands, because as tight ends, you always want to play fast. You always want to play on the attack. So I'm going to be at the number 2 up top. I'm going to be going in motion. I'm going to be gathering information on my motion. What does that mean? As I'm going in motion, I'm looking at the defense to see if there's any clues that I can gain to determine what coverage it is before the snap even starts, so that I'm not surprised. And so I go in motion. I see the defender travel with me, which means right off the bat, I'm thinking it's man coverage. Could it be something else? Yes, but I'm always expecting man and reacting to zone. And so you see there at the top of the route, I don't get so far away from the defender that I'm surprised and reaching for him. He's outside of me, use my hands at the top, come as flat as I can. Try not to break stride, but making sure the defender is on my body is the key coaching point, so that I'm not slowing down or playing slow or surprising the quarterback. The key is to play fast, play on the quarterback's timing, and use your hands and make a play for the quarterback and the team on third down when you need to make a play. So when dissecting Lukas's film, this is probably the play that stood out to me the most. And when I talk about fluidity, this is the play that I'm talking about. This is why I think Lukas has such great potential, that word potential again, to be a great route runner. And obviously a lot of things come naturally. It's going to come down to hard work and how we're able to progress down the road. But this is teach tape. We have a corner post route. So we're going to run the route 10 yards vertically. We're going to sell our stem. We're going to burst off the ball for 10 yards. We're going to go 3 steps to the corner. And then at 3 steps, we're going to break across the safety's face. And there's a couple of keys here. You cannot kind of chop in and out of both breaks. You got to be fluid. You don't want to lose your speed. The defender is going to know what's up if you're not threatening him on the first move. And like my coach always tells me, the most important move on a double move is the first move. So let's watch the film here, and you guys can get a feel what I'm talking about. At 10 yards, we're breaking to the corner, and then we're flattening it off as flat as we need to be in front of that safety without ever breaking stride. It's like Lukas could run any route he wants here and beat up on the defense because of his fluidity in and out of the break. And I think this is just really impressive overall, really showcases where Lukas is as a route runner and able to bend in and out of his breaks. It's just really impressive, and really Lukas should be encouraged by what he's able to do on this play. So we're talking about a corner post. We saw how fluid Lukas was on this last clip. So I just want to bring it to life a little more. It's a great red zone play. 10-yard stem, vertical, break to the corner for 3. And then make sure you cross the safety's face. The quarterback has to trust that you're going to get your body in front of the safety and always protect the throw so there's not an interception. And so a little backstory behind this play that we're going to watch. It's a Thursday night game. We're playing the Panthers. They're a great team, obviously. I got a phone call about 10 a.m. and said, hey, come to the quarterback meeting room. I want to show you something. And so Thursday night games are tough because you don't get your normal routine down. There's not as much time to prepare. So he sends me a message on game day. He says, hey, I want to show you something. So he brings me into the meeting room. He tells me, hey, if they show this coverage, I'm going to check to this route, go make a play on the ball. So it's going to be cover 2 high safeties. The middle linebacker is going to be cheating to the 3 receiver side. I'm by myself up top, and Carson checks to a corner post for me. So what we saw Lukas do, I want to bring to light a little bit right here of what just I've done in the past, and how fluid Lukas looked was very, very impressive. So here it is. I'm at the top, 10-yard stem, 3 to the corner, break to the post, and go make a play for your team. And so Lukas, keep it up on the corner post, man. What you did is perfect. So that is it for episode 3, Team Protege, Lukas Ungar. We saw a lot of great stuff. We saw a guy that is a technician in the passing game, a guy that is very, very fluid. I think his potential is off the charts as a receiver, and I know he's going to dedicate his craft in the pass game and in the blocking game because he's going to a great tight end school in Stanford. And so some of the things that we can do to further Lukas's game: Lukas, continue to work your hands in the pass game. Continue to know the spatial awareness, where the defender is, using his momentum against him, continuing to use your hands, the swat and swim that you have so naturally. Continue to do that, and don't run down the middle of the defender in our routes. It's going to slow us up in the run game. On an outside zone, continue to make sure that you don't get your outside hand involved. So if you're going right, you want to just surface the block with your left hand, your left shoulder, and really just keep this arm free. So once you feel the tackle come with you, you're able to get up on the block, get up to the next guy, and not slow down at all. So overall, Lukas, thank you for being a part of Team Protege, our third athlete, a part of the team. So we appreciate you. Can't wait to follow your career. You just continue to work hard, exhaust all the options. You're going to be a great player, man. So keep it up, and thanks for being a part of the team.